in this section, we are going to learn how to control objects. So far, what we learned how to add different objects on the frame and how to organize the variables. So right now, let me just run. Let's see what I have. I have my frame. I have two objects only, and it looks like it is organized now. So that is the object 1, which is circle. That is object 2, which is text. So I have my text itself, and it already was defined here, which is hello. I have my text position, which is already defined here. It's 100 by 200, 150 by 200. I have my text size. The text size is over here, and I have my text color, which is text color over here. Perfect. So that is the first control of my object. So by saying control, what I mean that, so right now if I run it, I have my static object. It's not moving, it's not dynamic yet. So how can I get the control of that? So right now, there's a couple ways to do it and a couple tools doing. So the first one is how can I add a button, because the button is one of the ways to make some changing. So for example, here I will say that on my frame I will need to add a button. Let me just explain what is going on. So the frame it's already was defined over here, because the frame is from the SimpleGUI, from the library. I'm just calling my function, and inside the function I have another function which is adding my button. You see, so that add underscore button is just a function of the SimpleGUI library. So right now this function that needs two different arguments. The first argument, what is the name of the button? So whenever the button will display it, so there it should be text on the button. Okay, so I will say, let me call it change, because I want to see the text, that text on the button. The second one is, so the Python is asking, whenever you click on button, what to expect. So we need to give another function. So I know that I was talking a lot about functions. So these functions, it's already built. So that, let me just highlight that. So that is already built in on the SimpleGUI. So we're just calling that. But right now we need to make a new function which is not in the SimpleGUI, because we need to come up, because right now I'm going to design a new function. And by saying design new function, what I mean that if I click on that button, something should happen. So something should be functioning now. And I need to give it the name of the function. So let me just get button. If I run it right now, most probably it is going to give me error. So, and yes, the error is here because it says that the button is not defined. So if I change it to this to ABC, let me just reset it. I will change it to that ABC. If I run it, it will say ABC is not defined again. So yeah, let me just bring it back to the button because it's much more clear. And right now I'm going to define what is the button is. So I'm going to define a button. I will yes, here is what we are going to do whenever I click on the button. So let me just go with the basic one, just to make sure that the button is working. So what I'm going to say that, hey, whenever I click on the button, can you print something over here? So I will say, can you print hello for me? And it is going to print the hello right here. I just want to test if the button is working. Let me just run it. Yes, perfect. So I have my button. That is the text, and the text is coming from here. You see, if you change it to that text, it is going to reflect over here. And whenever I click on my button, it is printing hello. So perfect. So that means my button is working. That is cool. So let's do, whenever I click on button, I want to change these text. Right now my text is hello. I need to change it to something else. Let me just call it bye. Okay, so what I'm going to say that, so whenever I click on my button, I want to change the text. And where is our text? The text is here. You see that the hello was assigned to text. I want to change that hello. So what I mean that variable, so the text is a variable, it has a hello, I just want to change it. So before going to make some change it, I need that is a new syntax, that is the global text. So what is the global means that? So right now we have a couple lines of codes, and let's imagine you have 100 lines of codes, and instead of going them and see and check them one by one, I will say the global. That means from wherever we see the text, that change all of them. And what is the text? The text is the variable. Here is the variable because it was defined before. Okay, so we are going to make some changes, and right now the text is equal to by. If I do not specify, let me just disable that. If I do not specify global text, that means it will not change all my texts that is in my codes. So I need to run it. So by saying this syntax, that means I want to make some changings, you see? And the second line, it says that what is the change itself is. It used to be hello, but right now I'm reassigning my by to the text. So let me just run it, and if I change it, and yes, by. Perfect. If I click it one more time, it will not change because each time it's reassigning by to the text. And what if I want to add the second button? And what I need to do is, let me give just a little bit, I will change the scenario. So right now I'm going to have two buttons. If I click on one button, my circle is going to be yellow. If I click on the second one, my circle will be changed to the, let me give the red. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me just disable my text for now because it will be clear to see what is going on. I will make just spaces here. So right now I need to add the second button. So I will say on the frame, add another button here. I will say, let me change this to the red. And let me just say the name of the function is the red. So I need to define my red. I'm just defining my red. Let me just give the spaces over here. You see why I'm saying red? Because here we specify, so we need to recall the function red, and I'm just doing that over here. So what I want to change. So whenever I click what is going to be changed, I need to go a little here, and I will say the circle color. You see the circle color should be changed. I will say global circle color. I want to make changes on the circle color, and change to what? I will say the circle color, it's not a yellow anymore, it is red. Okay, and let me add another one. I will say frame add button. If I say that yellow, and the function name of the button is yellow, I need to define one more time. So define yellow and global circle color, because I want to change that one, and my circle color is going to be yellow. Oops. Perfect. I know we have a lot of lines of codes now, but let's see what is going on. By the way, let me just delete this part because we are not dealing with the text now. I will just delete this one and delete that button because I need to have the two buttons only. And perfect. So I have a red, I have a yellow now. So as a default, you see, my default color is yellow. That was, it's popping up with the yellow one. So if I click on that one, that is the red. If I click on that one, that is the yellow. So red, yellow, red, yellow. Perfect. So it is working and it is functioning. Now it looks like the size of the button is different. It because of the length of the syntax. But if you want to make a constant, if you make a specific the length of the button, what we can do is on the bottom. So that is a function bottom. Actually, we have two arguments. But if you want, you can add this the third one, which is specifying what is the size of the button is going to be. So let me just give 50, and here I will give the 50. So all of them will be same. Let me see how it looks like. I will just run it, and perfect. So it is the same one, but it looks like that is a little bit short. What I can do is, let me put all of them 100. So that is the size of, you see right now on the bottom we have 3 arguments. The first is what is the text on the bottom, what is the function of that button, and that is the size of the button. If I run it, yes, perfect. So both of them are in the same size. So if I click the red, if I click the yellow, and that is perfect.